Yeah, I met a guy from Nara, and he said, look, just put some lime on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And I go, well, we've got to try something. And I said to Mum, well, let's put some lime on the farm. Oh, I can't afford that. I mean, she was a bank manager's daughter.
Yeah.
Bank manager, you know.
Yeah.
So we went out and we managed to get a load, and we did 1 tonne on one paddock, 2 tonne to the hectare on the other, and just left it a week or 10 days. We went back and retested it, took it into the vets to get it tested. The one we hadn't touched was still at 280,000. The other two were less than 20,000. So now we're in
just from the lime.
Just from the lime.
Wow.
Kaboom.
Yeah.
So as soon as we got them back, it was like, right, lime truck. Lime truck. So we worked out we could put a tonne to the hectare on, and it was enough to stop it. Didn't matter if it rained, because there was still lime on the bottom of the soil, and it lifted the pH enough, and it stopped the conditions for the spores. Instantaneous. So there is a remedy or a cure right at the start. And I put this as...
And a cost-effective...
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, lime's
it's still symptomatic relief, though, isn't it? It's still a symptomatic resolution with lime because the ultimate solution is fix your soils.
Yes.
But it's better than zinc and it's better than fungicide.
Yes.
This is what the experts tell us. Now that you've got it, you should do this.
Yes.
Can we just cover this off? Because I want to contrast it against what you've been saying. Dry off affected cows immediately to reduce pressure on the liver. That seems reasonable.
Absolutely. That's a no-brainer. They dry themselves off. You don't even have to.
Okay. Put zinc cream on white areas of the coat and the udder if affected. So that sounds like I would do that in the summer in the 80s and 90s too.
Yeah.
That yellow zinc cream on my face. Move affected stock into dense shade. Indoors is best. Hay barn, calf rearing and implement sheds. Ensuring access to a good water supply and supplementary feed. Feed cows at night so they're not exposed to sunlight. And stop hard grazing so cows do not graze down into dead matter where most of the spores that cause facial eczema live. Feeding maize and or silage can help, but cows will still tend to graze if they're kept on pasture. This is kind of maybe some good basics, I suppose, but it doesn't quickly get to the big point.
This is now that you've got it. You know, it's like, if you know that you're going to get it, or you're in a high danger area if you're going to get it, lime's cheap. Like, I mean, it's something like $65, $70 a tonne delivered to the farm.
Oh, that is cheap.
Okay. And so again, spraying and all these other treatments and everything else, by far and away, it's the cheapest thing you can possibly do.
Okay.
So that's immediate, solves the problem for now. And we did that. Like, we did the whole farm, and like, it stopped the issues, but there were so many cows that had been affected, still had, symptoms coming through. I think we culled 10, 15, maybe more cows. It was hard to know. I know we shot probably 10.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably half. It was 10% of the cows that I had gone out of the herd because of it. Bloody costly.
How big was your herd at the time?
165 cows. Well, I started that season.
Okay, so 16 is 10%. Yeah.
Yeah, they were gone. Yeah. And we were first-year share milkers at that stage.
Okay. But I could imagine someone pushing back on this, so just correct me where I'm wrong. There might be someone that says, yeah, but Ewan, in 1987 when they came out with that horrendous Yadsen killam grass, that's not going to happen again.
Yeah, well, the problem was that it still was all over the farm too. Like, we didn't have the high count of 300,000, but we still were over hundreds. So we were still in danger mode big time.
So Yadsen just exaggerated.
Yeah, it was the multiplier.
A problem.
Yep.
Which is still at high enough levels to still be a big problem,
yes.
Even when you go back to normal pasture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So now in the year 2025 and beyond, we still have normal pasture issues that are bad enough to treat in the way that you're talking about, even though Yadsen was the magnifier to really highlight it in your journey to learn the right answers.
That's right. I mean, along the way, like the lime thing was one thing, and like I've learned over time is like if you can get the calcium base saturation up in the soil working, the fungal species, you don't have it because there's no environment for this stuff to live in, right?
Right.
But I'm just giving some people some advice here that if you've got an eczema issue and you've got to deal with it in a hurry, here's a quick answer.
Go lime.
Go lime. Go get a soil test too. get a soil test through us so you can get a decent look at
a decent panel.
Yeah, so you can get a decent look at what's going on with the farm.
Yeah.
But this is where I get really, really, really anti. Why these farmers, like dairy farmers, paying I don't know how many cents in the dollar or whatever kilograms to Dairy New Zealand for this research. They came out last year and they said, lime doesn't work. So I've been trying to
Come on, they didn't.
They did.
They actually said it doesn't work.
Yes.
Well, I see people around our region using it quite a bit.
Yeah, but they said it doesn't work as far as facial eczema goes. But I've been hunting around looking for what they based that on. Now, 12 or 13 years ago, there was a girl at Katikati College who used the example of what happened on their deer farm. I didn't know before this.
Mm-hmm.
They'd put lime on the farm. They were having problems with facial eczema in the deer.
Mm.
Second year in, it was gone. Now, she used that study and those spore counts and the stuff that they were doing, and she did entered a national science competition and won.
Wow. Yeah, if I recall that story, she was like, like 5th, 6th or 7th form science or something.
That's it.
Yeah, and her project won for the whole country.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive, and no one followed up on it, right?
There's no money in it.
Yeah, because $65 per ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
And nothing. And so this is the problem what we have. And even yesterday when I was talking to our agent for our trace elements, he openly admitted, like it was university, you are pushed a certain way by who's wanting you to look at things in that particular manner. And I actually really enjoy these young guys that turn up from our suppliers.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are really interesting people, especially if they're not in the farming sector because they haven't been cajoled one way.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy yesterday, he's great on his chemistry and he understands subatomic particles and stuff like that. Yeah, it was awesome. So we're having a great conversation about, all these things. And he's just blown away. He said, Jesus, no one talks like you about this stuff. It's like, this is our life and this is our farm. This is what we live.